What's cracking? We got Douglas Chunks in the building. Couch Malo in the building. Yeah, man. You already know what time it is, man. Salute. Crazy little holiday, man. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody, man. Hope you weren't awfully naughty, man. Hope all you guys were on the nice list, man. You got what you wanted for Christmas. Hope all you guys were on the nice list. Excuse me. We got a lot going on, man. Salute, guys. Salute to everybody in here bright and early, man. Salute to everybody in here bright and early, man. We got a great show. Joe Curry's in the building, man. Got a great show for you guys tonight, man.
From his hospital room here at Mount Sinai Hospital, Larry Gilkey talks about the attack and the fear he has now of getting back on the CTA after what is now, we know, is his second attack on public transportation here in Chicago in less than 2 years.
I feel better. I do feel a little better.
While he feels better, Larry Gilkey, affectionately known as Uncle Larry, has a long road to recovery. Last week, 3 teens vicious attacked the 62-year-old while on the CTA bus along Cicero in West Garfield Park.
The only thing I remember was getting on the bus. The last thing I remember.
On Sunday, CPD issued this community alert showing the 3 people suspected of beating Uncle Larry. By Monday, a 15-year-old boy and girl were charged, and later an 18-year-old, Lindell Roberts, arrested. All 3 are charged with felonies in the attack which left Uncle Larry in a medically induced coma for 5 days with bleeding on his brain.
They're going to get what they deserve. That's all I got for them. They're going to get what they deserve.
Uncle Larry's twin brother and nephew have been by his bedside constantly. They want the teenagers to get the harshest punishment.
If you're making those type of decisions and you're out here doing those type of things to innocent people, then you need to be held accountable, and you need to know what that punishment is like.
The family is insisting CTA must improve security on buses and trains to ensure riders are truly safe.
This is not the first time that this happened, though.
In the summer of 2024, on July 2nd, Uncle Larry was targeted on the Blue Line train at the Forest Park stop.
I was robbed and attacked. I walked away from that.
The second time it happened, you're in a coma. The third time it happens, it's like, what, you're dead now?
Do you feel as if you could ever hop back on a CTA bus again?
Not right now. No, not right now.
Uncle Larry and his family are grateful to those who showed their love of Chicago by donating to the GoFundMe account, which has collected thousands.
Thank you.
But the biggest thanks goes to a secret Santa who contacted the family on this Christmas Eve, offering a very large amount of cash. And get this, a car with registration and taxes paid for 1 full year. This way, when Larry gets out of the hospital, he can feel safe. Now
that's sad. That's sad, yo. That's sad, man. He gotta not ride. In order to be safe, he gotta not get on public transportation. And listen, I know the guy's not, thinking about it like that. That's really, 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 really fucking sad. That's really fucking sad. You can't get on public transportation. Gotta get a car and shit. Got him a car. Got him a car. Poor Uncle Larry, man.
That's the true love of Chicago. At Mount Sinai Hospital, Jermont Terry, CBS News, Chicago.
Yeah, the true love of Chicago is keeping you off the CTA. We love you so much, we keeping you off the CTA. That's so crazy. That's bonkers. That's bananas. Jesus. So sad. So sad. So much going on, man. It's a lot going on, man.
Well, this holiday season is going to be a very difficult time for one mother. Her son was shot and killed earlier this year. The man arrested for his death has had the charges dropped. Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch reporter Meredith Aldis in studio. Meredith.
And Mike, Michelle Wilson says the holidays will never feel the same, but she's pushing forward in her son's memory. Michelle Wilson says the holidays used to revolve around her son, Chavalos Lockett.
Usually this time of the year, I'll be getting ready to cook whatever he wants for Christmas.
This year, her kitchen is quiet.
Everything just feels different. I don't really care much about celebrating holidays now.
Lockett was her only child and lived with her.
He was funny. He loved to take pictures. He actually had made 2 songs before his death. So I'm in the process of
What were the songs about? What were the songs about, man? What was the 2 songs about? I would love to hear those 2 songs, man. Maybe they can give us some clues into what happened to him, man.
And lived with her.
He was funny. He loved to take pictures. He actually had made 2 songs before his death. So I'm in the process of getting those songs produced.
But Wilson says behind the smiles, her son was struggling.
My son had PTSD. I had put him in 3 mental health facilities because I could see the change in my child.
She says each time, the help didn't last.
Unfortunately, by him being 23, the system didn't keep him. I had to pick him up. The last time my son was committed, it was done by Austin PD, emergency detention. I never forget it. 3 days later, my son was murdered.
In January, police say Lockett was shot by a gang member at a gas station in downtown Austin.
I still have a lot of questions. How? How? That's how, why, how?
Zion Singleton was arrested for murder. In October, prosecutors rejected the charges.
The defendant said self-defense. And I'm like, how is it self-defense when my son didn't have a weapon? I just feel like for someone to just murder somebody and just walk freely, there's no justice. I mean, I just want justice for my baby.
During this holiday season, Wilson says grief shows up in unexpected places, driving past the gas station where it happened, or holding on to the pieces of her son she still has.
This was his necklace. I wear it. That picture, I got tattooed on my arm. So he's always with me.
Damn. Self-defense, it could be self-defense if you attack somebody. If her son attacked that guy, it could be self-defense even if he didn't have a weapon.
He's always with me.
Wilson is now using her voice to push for change, especially for parents of adult children with mental health challenges.
If you have an adult child with mental health issues, I feel like the parent should be able to make the decision for the child to get the treatment versus the adult child. I just feel like they need to change that law.
She continues to fight while holding on to her son's words.
I keep hearing that voice, my son, Mama, you can't give up. You got to keep fighting. And that's what pushes me to do what I'm doing.
The Travis County District Attorney's Office issued a statement saying in part, quote, "We have an obligation to evaluate the facts and evidence and to do our best to reach an outcome that keeps our community safe. In this case, there was sufficient evidence to substantiate a legal defense, which is why we rejected the charge."
21-year-old Abraham Herrera now sits behind bars in the Hays County Jail. He's accused of being involved in multiple shootings just weeks apart. It all began on November 3rd in the 500 block of Santa Fe Road in Kyle. Deputies responding to shots fired, finding a homeowner seriously injured. Law enforcement releasing this picture of a suspect vehicle, which fired multiple rounds into the home. No arrests were initially made. Then a week later on November 12th, Hays County SWAT was called for a barricade incident in Buda. Deputies had received reports of gunfire where they confronted Abraham Herrera, who fled into the woods and refused to surrender to officers. A drone captured the moment. SWAT operators took Herrera into custody, where he can be seen with his hands up. In his bag was an AR-style firearm and ammunition. Herrera was arrested on multiple charges, including the unlawful carrying of a weapon and tampering with evidence, a third-degree felony. The county records show he was released on bond just 2 days later. It wasn't long before Herrera found himself involved in yet another shooting. The weekend after Thanksgiving, he was taken into custody for a different drive-by shooting, this time in Martindale, Texas. Digital evidence pointed to him being the suspect in that shooting, as well as the drive-by incident in Kyle at the beginning of November. A final piece of evidence was found on Monday when investigators linked spent shell casings at the Kyle scene to the rifle seized from Herrera during the SWAT standoff. In total, he's now accused of being involved in 3 separate shooting incidents in just 1 month. Herrera.
Yo. That Ombrito's about that life, man. That Ombrito is about that life. He with it. He with the shit, man. He with all of the shit, man. God damn. That Ombrito with it. He like, what's cracking? What's good? What you trying to do, my nigga? What you trying to do? What you trying to do, my nigga? Get with me. Niggas like, Niggas like, I don't know, man. That Ombrito was with it. He was all about it. God damn. 3 shootings in 1 month. I mean, not saying that that's like, but to get caught for 3 shootings in 1 month, that just means you just out here doing anything.
Louisiana National Guard is coming to New Orleans to secure the French Quarter and fight crime. Chris Joseph reports that crime improved in the quarter this year.
Merry Christmas. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans?
We heard Alicia Renee's song before we met the artist. Renee,
aka Blue Eyes,
says she's been singing in the French Quarter for years. Wednesday, we were among the lucky few to hear her serenade. For Renee, the French Quarter is home.
I personally feel safe. I've heard stories that make me sad, but to be honest, I'm in the house before it gets dark. I don't like.
Okay, that's good. At least she's, honest, man. She in the house. She in the house, man. She ain't about that life. She ain't out there late. She in the crib, man. She in the cribbo. Salute, man. Salute to Skelly room. Merry Christmas, Op. Stay packing, never lacking. You ever watch Jimmy Dore? Yeah, I watch Jimmy Dore. He been on a lot of Jimmy Dore's funny. He been on a lot of conspiracy shit lately though, man. Do you agree with that, Skelly Rim? Do you agree with that? He been on a lot of conspiracy shit lately. And you know me, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, man. That shit, it kind of turns me off, man. When everything's a conspiracy, nothing could just happen. Nobody could just shoot somebody because they're mad at them. It got to be like some big fucking Israeli scheme and shit. Everything Israel got to be responsible for every little fucking dispute that two people have. Like if I go shoot somebody tomorrow, it was Israel that made me do it or some stupid shit like that. I hate that shit. But he's historically, I enjoyed the show. Historically, I enjoyed the show. And I'm sure he's getting a lot more views because people love that conspiracy shit. People love those conspiracy theories. You know what I mean? Everything leads back to Israel. Is that all for clicks? Yeah. Everything leads back to Israel. Some Sun team shot another Sun team at a dice game. The Jews. The deep state. Nah, man. Sometimes it just happened like that, man. Sometimes it just be like that, man. I'm telling you straight up, man. Sometimes it just be like, don't always got to be the deep state. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just, fuck you say, nigga. Yeah, Lee Harvey, I don't even think that was a conspiracy. I'm not even lying to you, man. I don't even think Lee Harvey Oswald was a conspiracy. I believe that famous people. Let me get on my JFK rant, man. Let me go ahead because I might have to. Let me just go ahead and lay this shit out. What I think about conspiracy theories for you, man. So I think that like it's easy to kill somebody if you're a lone actor. A lone wolf can easily kill somebody. A crash out rather than some big coordinated thing. Because when you got a big coordinated thing, a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of chatter. And the FBI and CIA, they can catch wind of a lot of chatter. And then there's a lot of people, the more people that know about the plot, the worse it is. People talk, word gets out, da da da. When you just one guy and you just like, yo, I'm gonna go kill this motherfucker, and you determined and you willing to just take your shot, and remember, it's 1960, man. It ain't now. The president was moving wonky back in them days, man. He wasn't the only president that got shot back in the day. The presidents used to move wonky, man. Fucking Reagan barely survived. He almost got whacked like 17 years later. Y'all forget about that. Reagan barely survived, man. Dude just walked up on Reagan. If a lone actor that just got a will to crash out like that, that's much more effective than a sleeper cell, or underground conspiracy between governments and shit. Yeah, dude walked up on Reagan. What's his name? He was in St. Elizabeth for a long. What's his name? God damn, dude who walked up on Reagan, man. Yeah, but they trying to act like it's impossible to shoot a president. No, my man. It ain't impossible to shoot a president, man. Presidents used to move wonky. You hear what I'm saying? Presidents used to move wonky. Okay. They used to move crazy. Because it was just a different time. Yeah, Brady, he the one that got the worst of it. That's why they called him right here. He got fucked up over this. He caught the worst of it. But yeah, presidents just used to move wonky, man. They almost got Trump a year ago. They almost got Trump. Like, I don't think none of these things. I think it's hard. I think people want to believe that it's a conspiracy because people have a lot of faith in the United States. No matter how much shit people talk about the United States, they have a lot of faith that the United States is, about that life, big time, big business. They got a lot of faith in the United States. No matter what people say, they got a lot of faith in the United States. They think the United States is, a machine, man. They don't think you can just bomb the United States or nothing like that. But yeah, presidents be moving wonky, man. Look at him. Shout out to Boy Kachin. He says Israel faked a round planet in outer space. Yeah, I mean, but we know that outer space is fake. We know that outer space is fake. Most people know that. Most people just play along with it because it's just easier to just, all right, whatever, to not look into it. We know space is fake. Outer space is fake. You know. We know that. We've already done all the videos on that. Outer space is fake as a $3 bill. But everything being a conspiracy is a lot of people who believe in conspiracies, and I'm not saying like one or two conspiracies, but people that believe everything is a conspiracy, they have low IQs, man. Okay. You know what I mean? Low intelligence. You know, belief in conspiracy theories is related to lower intelligence. Says people who believe in conspiracy theories typically don't engage in analytical thinking. Hence why almost all conspiracy theories fall apart when subjected to a modicum of rational analysis. People with greater critical thinking skills are less likely to believe false conspiracies. And the more people believe in conspiracy theories, the worse they perform on critical thinking ability tests. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, like, because here's the thing. I also think that people who believe in conspiracy theories want to be smarter, want to seem smarter than everyone else. Like, you know the CIA did something, and you don't even, like, nigga, you don't know the head of you ask that person that's talking all this shit about the CIA, ask them one head of the CIA. Do you know one person who was ever the director of the CIA? What is the CIA chain of command? How does the CIA chain of command work? What is the CIA's role in America, in American foreign policy? They don't know any of that. They just throw the word CIA around or FBI or things like that. Now, am I saying that the CIA doesn't do espionage and, you know, counterintelligence and do coups in foreign countries? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that you don't know how it works. You don't have a clue how it works. You don't know the first thing about it or the last thing about it. That's what I'm saying. The only thing you know is CIA. And that's the only thing you know about it is the word CIA. Other than that, you don't know a thing about it. Most niggas. Not a fucking thing. Most niggas don't know a fucking thing about it. Other than them 3 words, CIA. Boy Kachina says, the Reagan shooter was just trying to impress a 14-year-old Jodie Foster. Yeah, exactly. Some crazy dude that was in love with Jodie Foster. Facts. Everything's not a conspiracy theory. Yo, some people got balls. Like, we don't think we hate on a lot of this is hating too, because we hating on them, man, because he had balls enough to go do that shit. You might have wanted to crash out like that or do something crazy like that, but you didn't have the balls to. So now you see somebody else got the balls to do it. And you want to hate on them. You want to diminish their feat. Nah, give that man his credit. He tried to kill the president. He actually shot the president. You know what I'm saying? He shot him in the lung. Reagan's a tough motherfucker. He survived that shit at that old age. Reagan was like 80 when this. How old was Reagan when that shit happened? Reagan was old when that shit happened. 81. So this was 81, 1981. Yeah. Yeah, 81. Look how John Lennon got caught slipping. On March 30th, Reagan delivered a luncheon address to the AFL-CIO representatives, the American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations, representatives at the Washington Hilton. The Secret Service was very familiar with the hotel, having inspected it more than 100 times for presidential visits since the early 1970s. The Hilton was considered the safest venue in Washington because of its secure enclosed passageway called President's Walk, built after the 1963 assassination of John F. Kennedy. Reagan entered the building through the passageway at about 1:45 p.m., waving to a crowd of news media and citizens. The Secret Service had required him to wear a bulletproof vest for some events, but Reagan was not wearing one for the speech because his only public exposure would be the 30 feet between the hotel and his limousine. And the agency did not require vests for agents that day. No one saw Hinckley behaving in an unusual way. Witnesses who reported him as a fidgety and agitated apparently confused Hinckley with another person that the Secret Service had been monitoring. At 2:27, Reagan exited the hotel through the President's Walk on Florida Avenue, where reporters waited. He left the T Street Northwest exit towards his waiting limousine as Hinckley waited in the crowd. The Secret Service had extensively screened those attending the president's speech, but allowed an unscreened group to stand within 15 feet of him behind a rope line. The agency uses multiple layers of protection. Local police in the outer layer briefly check people. Secret Service agents in the middle layer check for weapons, and more agents from the inner layer immediately around the president. Hinckley had penetrated the first two layers. As several hundred people applauded Reagan, the president unexpectedly passed right in front of Hinckley. I mean, just think about that, man. All that they do to, to ensure that these things don't happen, and you can't ensure everything, man. Things happen, man. I know exactly where this happened at. I've been past here plenty of times. I've never gone in this building, but I've been past this building plenty of times, man. This shit just happens, man. Shit just happens, man. Everybody hit that like button too. Smash the like button for a player, man. It says The president unexpectedly walked past right in front of Hinckley. Reporters standing behind a rope barricade 20 feet away asked questions as Mike Putzel, the Associated Press, shouted, "Mr. President." Hinckley assumed a crouched position and rapidly fired a ROM RG 14 22 caliber LR blue steel revolver 6 times in 1.7 seconds, missing the president with all 6 shots. The first shot hit White House President Press Secretary James Brady in the head above his left eye, passing through underneath his brain and shattering his brain cavity. The bullet had a small explosive charge within it, which exploded on impact. District of Columbia Police Officer Thomas Delante recognized the sound as the gunshot and turned his head sharply to the left to identify the shooter. As he did so, he was struck in the back of his neck. On the second shot, the bullet ricocheting off his spine. Delaney fell on top of Brady, screaming, "I'm hit." Hinckley now had a clear shot at the president, but Alfred Antonucci, a labor official from Cleveland who was standing nearby and saw Hinckley fire, struck him in the head and began to wrestle him from behind. Upon hearing the shot, Special Agent in charge, Jerry Parr, almost instantly grabbed Reagan by the shoulder and dove with him toward the open car rear door of the limousine. Agent Ray Shattuck trailed just behind Parr to assist in throwing both men into the car. The third round overshot the president, instead hitting the window of the building across the street. Parr's actions likely saved the president from being hit in the head. As Parr rushed Reagan into the limousine, Secret Service agent Tim McCarthy snapped his attention towards the sound of gunfire, pivoted to his right, and placed himself in the line of fire. McCarthy spread his arms and legs, taking a wide stance directly in front of Reagan and Parr to make himself a target. McCarthy was struck in the lower chest by the fourth round, the bullet traversing his right lung, diaphragm, and right lobe of his liver. The fifth round hit the bullet-resistant glass of the window on the open rear door of the limousine as Reagan and Parr were passing behind it. The sixth and final bullet ricocheted off the armor side of the limousine, passed between the space of the open rear door and vehicle frame, and hit the president under the left underarm. The round grazed the rib and lodged in his lung, causing it to partially collapse before stopping less than an inch from his heart. Within moments of the fired shots, Secret Service agent Dennis McCarthy, no relation to Tim McCarthy, dove across the sidewalk and landed directly on Hinckley as others pushed Hinckley to the ground. Another Cleveland area labor official, Frank J. McNamara, joined Antonucci and began punching Hinckley in the head, striking him so hard that he drew blood. Dennis McCarthy later reported that he had to strike 2 citizens to force them to release Hinckley. Secret Service agent Robert Wanko deployed a Uzi submachine gun concealed in his briefcase to cover the president's evacuation and deter a potential group attack. All that happened in 1.7 seconds. All that happened in 1.7 seconds. Let's get back to the regular news, man.
To hang out at night.
The national spotlight is turning to French Quarter security. The Louisiana National Guard announced it's coming to help secure the quarter for major events and to reduce crime in the city.
And they're going to be there for a deployment through February, which we desperately need. Look, we know how to make cities safe, and the National Guard complements cities that are having high crime problems.
New Orleans City Council data shows crime is down this year. The New Orleans Police Department's 8th District, which includes the quarter and downtown, saw a 32% reduction in crime incidents. Murders were up, driven by the January 1st terror attack, which killed 14 people. but the majority of crime categories were level or down. The Guard will get a chance to build on that momentum. Renee says she's indifferent to the news.
I just wave and they wave back, and I think they're just like, okay, this is how the French Quarter is.
Glade Bilby is a member of the French Quarter Management District and says he welcomes the Guard and is optimistic about the next year.
We have the saints, so we believe. We keep the faith. We're kind of a religious city, and barring pestilences, floods, snow, plagues, locusts, we already have termites. 2026 is going to be great.
And I'd like to see the lazy Mississippi.
This Christmas, Renee hopes New Orleans gets a gift, too.
A lot more tourism.
New Orleans, a city looking to hit the right note with safety.
And I miss New Orleans.
The National Guard will get its chance to secure major events. Obviously, New Year's Eve, the Sugar Bowl, and Carnival season are all in the coming weeks. Liz?
Wow.
Welcome to the NewsHour. President Trump said today that he delayed American military strikes in northwest Nigeria until Christmas Day to deliver a message to groups he alleges are targeting Christians in that country. Meanwhile, the Nigerian government praised the attacks and said it provided the U.S. with the necessary intelligence.
Think about this. The left is now being forced to support ISIS. The left is now being forced to support ISIS and Boko Haram. This is a banana situation for the left. This is a bananas situation for the left. They're now being forced to support Boko Haram and ISIS. Just because Trump's going after them. Salute to Gene B, man. Gene B, Merry Christmas to you, Gene B.
Schifrin is here with the details. Nick?
William, the area that the U.S. bombed in Nigeria is near the border of neighboring Niger, in a part of Western Africa that suffered from cross-border.
Niger, or otherwise known as Niger. Niger. I used to call that joint Niger. Nigger. Nigger. They should just bring both these countries together, man. Make it one big country. Call it Nigger. Niggerland.
Terrorism. Northern Nigeria has suffered from violence for years. And while the president describes this as focused on protecting Christians, the violence in Nigeria and the groups committing it are far more complex. In the Gulf of Guinea, a Tomahawk missile flies to an area never before struck by the U.S. military, northwest Nigeria, where locals picked up debris as nearby flames kept burning. By day, the grass was scorched and police cordoned off an impact site. This missile, at least in this remote rural area, apparently killed no one.
There was no loss of life and no loss of property.
A U.S. military official tells PBS NewsHour a ship off Nigeria's coast fired more than a dozen Tomahawks at 2 ISIS training camps. Local security analysts say the missiles hit in at least 4 locations, all in Nigeria's northwest Sokoto state. The area has been plagued by a group known as Lakurawa that claims affiliation with ISIS Sahel and exploits poor local governance and access to terrorist groups that operate in Niger and Mali. Nigeria declared them a terrorist organization, but locals say they're connected to bandits and criminals who've intimidated local residents, most of whom are Muslim, preaching radicalization, kidnapping.
Yeah, but if Muslim on Muslim crime is just that's cool. They can do what they want to do. But once they start attacking, Muslims always attack other Muslims. Sunni, Shia, Wahhabi, Muslims always, why they acting like Muslims don't attack other Muslims? That doesn't take away from the fact that they're attacking Christians. They trying to muddy the water, like they're attacking other Muslims too. Well, Muslims always attack other Muslims. Okay? All the time.
Hundreds of girls and young boys in an attempt to control and exploit the population.
This is what we've always been hoping for, to work with the Americans.
Today, Nigerian Foreign Minister Yusuf Tugar told Channels TV that Nigeria provided the U.S. intelligence.
It is a joint operation, and it is not targeting any religion.
But last night, President Trump wrote that the targets were, quote, ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria, who've been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries. And today he told Politico the strike was supposed to take place on Christmas Eve, but he said, nope, let's give a Christmas present.
The government doesn't help the Christians. They're not protecting them. They're not protecting their villages.
Nina Shea directs the Hudson Institute's Center of Religious Freedom. She and 30 other advocates, Christian organizations, and think tanks wrote a letter in October to President Trump saying the Nigerian government demonstrably tolerates relentless aggression uniquely against Christian farming families.
Local Christian leaders are telling us that they are trying to cleanse the land of Christians, that they are establishing the land for Islamic rule.
In reality, Nigeria violence is more complex. For years, Islamist terrorists have plagued northern and northeast Nigeria. Best known as Boko Haram, they've targeted the Nigerian military and violently oppose female education. It's bombed mosques, Nigeria.
Did you hear that?
They were education.
They violently oppose female education. Liberals have been forced to support this group that violently opposes female education. Liberals have to support them now. Your liberal friends or your liberal family members who you think are rational people or just normal people. They may be your wife, they may be your sister, maybe your mother, maybe your father, are now going to support this group that violently opposes female education, females being educated. They don't think women should be able to learn how to read or do math. Now, listen, I know some of y'all are like, what's wrong with that? It's Western. We're Westerners, man. We're Westerners, man. That's not our philosophy, man, in life. We encourage women to get educated to the highest of their capacity. Shit, I think they're on to something. Yeah, listen, man. Jeez.
And violently oppose female education. It's bombed mosques. Boko Haram also targeted Christians, as I saw in 2015 in the eastern city of Mubi.
Outside the nearby Church of the Brethren, the damage is everywhere. Inside, high above the podium, the fire set by Boko Haram almost erased the cross from the wall.
When these people landed in Mubi, they will ask you, are you a Christian or a Muslim? When you say you're a Christian, they will shoot you.
But that's the Northeast, far from today's target. And then there's the map. Most Nigerian Muslims live in the north. Most Christians live in the south.
Yeah, and listen, this is where my people live at, Lagos. They live over here, Lagos. The Yoruba tribe.
And in the middle, the two groups overlap, as do tribes, farmers, and herders, who can clash violently. For decades, nomadic herders, almost all of whom are Muslim, have fought farmers, most of whom are Christian, over land disputes and scarce resources. The independent conflict monitor ACLED tells PBS NewsHour last year's data show a rise in Christian fatalities, mostly in central Nigeria, but the vast majority
Look at that man's arm. Look at his arm.
show a rise in Christian fatalities.
That man has no arm.
Mostly in central Nigeria. But the vast majority of the incidents were over land disputes, not targeting because of religion.
You can see how all these things are interconnected. So when you try to reduce it to just say, oh no, it's Muslims killing Christians in Nigeria, you see how you can get it completely wrong.
And for more perspective on the U.S. strike against targets in Nigeria, we turn to former Ambassador Peter Phan. He was U.S. Special Envoy for the Sahel region during the first Trump administration. He's now a distinguished fellow at the Atlantic Council and sits on the boards of a number of companies doing business in Africa. Ambassador, thanks very much. Welcome back.
Hit the like button, guys. Smash that like button, man. We are in here, man. Our Nation News is made possible by donations from viewers like you. Support that channel, man. Take the $10, $20 challenge. Put 100 on it. Put 50 on it. Go crazy. Listen, man. Yeah, he said he got short sleeve. Yeah, facts.
Good to be with you, Nick.
To the News Hour. Explain who is being targeted here in the Northwest. This is a group called Lakurawa, connected to terrorists in the Sahel in Western Africa, but also criminals known as bandits in Nigeria.
Well, the group that was referred to in the piece, Nick, Lakurawa, is a good example, almost a classic one of the cure being worse than the disease. They originate as self-defense groups in an area where the Nigerian government and some of the neighboring countries were unable to provide protection for local communities. So they set up their own self-defense groups. Unfortunately, over the years, these groups, their ambitions grew. And in the case of Lakurawa in Sokoto state and some of the neighboring states, as well as in Mali and Niger, they've grown to establish dominion over areas of territory where the government is, quite frankly, its writ doesn't run and is excluded. And they've been increasingly imposing upon the people they were started to protect a harsh vision of Islam and a hardline vision, and increasingly kidnapping young people to fill up their ranks. So they've become, in effect, the disease they were there to fight.
And I don't want to conflate these groups. The analysts I speak to says it's not Lakurawa, it's not these bandits in the Northwest who are traditionally killing Christians. We see that more in the Northeast and the central area of Nigeria.
That's very much where the conflicts between farmer herders, between Muslims or those motivated or agitated by extremist interpretations of Islam and Christians have occurred. So I'm not privy to, I'm a former government official, I'm not privy to any current intelligence on this, so I can't speak to why the targeting occurred in Sokoto. Certainly, it's a mystery to me. There are a couple other places I would have picked to hit extremists in Nigeria.
So let's drill into that. What impact, if any, could this have, this strike in Northwest Nigeria, on violence against Christians?
As far as I'm aware of, a very limited impact. What it does do is send a signal that the U.S. is willing to act in this area. But, what concerns me is the fact that all the reporting I've seen on this has emphasized, including Nigerian Foreign Minister Tugar's statements, this was coordinated with the Nigerian government. And I agree with my friend Nina Shea. Part of the problem here is actually not all parts of the Nigerian government, but certain parts of the Nigerian government are suspect.
Well, we've also seen inability by the Nigerian government, as you were referencing before, to govern some of these spaces, whether the Northwest, the Northeast, or some of these farmer-herder conflicts in the Central Plains. I mean, how much of this is about, how much of the root causes is about the government not being able to have governance in these areas?
It's a matter of, where does something start and where does something end? There's certainly...
So, yeah, man. Liberals are being forced to support this shit. Liberals are being forced to support this shit. That is so crazy, man. And they're doing it. They're already started, man. They already started it. They already started it.
A major development in the high-profile Jared Bridegan murder for hire case.
The defense for one of the accused is now pushing to get detailed answers from the state's key witness before he ever testifies under oath. Bridegan, a father of 4, was killed in 2022 while driving home after dropping off his children. News4Jax reporter Brianna Brownlee is live outside the Duval County Courthouse with what the defense wants to know and why prosecutors are expected to push back.
Yes, the defense of Mario Fernandez is trying to get answers on paper from the state's most critical witness before he even sits down for his deposition. Now, Fernandez's attorneys have filed a motion demanding written responses from Henry Tenen, the admitted gunman in the 2022 killing of Jared Bridegan. Tenen has pleaded guilty and agreed to testify. But earlier this year, he claimed that part of his story were false, putting his credibility front and center. Now, the defense wants Tenen to answer specific questions, including how much money he was allegedly promised, how any payments was made, and details surrounding.
Yo. Who thought these two guys was going to get away with killing somebody on a murder for hire? These two fucking morons.
His role in the killing. A legal expert and attorney not involved in the case says it's a strategic move, but one the state is unlikely to welcome.
The state of Florida is going to object. They're going to come back and say no. Why will be very interesting. We do not see their why yet, but presumably they are not going to want to have Henry Tenen boxed in with answers prior to his deposition.
Now, we did reach out to the state attorney's office to get their statement regarding all of this, but we haven't received anything just yet. But it's also important.
Yeah, that was a wild case, man. I remember we covered that. This guy, what is his name? Jared Bridegan. It takes a long time for these cases to get to trial, man. Takes a long time, man. This guy. Is this it? Here it is right here. Well, that's Court TV. I don't want to go that deep into it. I just want to show you like what happened. This shit. Jesus Christ.
Tonight at 10, the state attorney's office releasing new documents in the alleged murder for hire plot to kill St. Johns County father Jared Bridegan. Bridegan was shot and killed in early 2022, just minutes after dropping off the twins he shared with his ex-wife at her home in Jacksonville Beach. The ex-wife, Shanna Gardner, and her current husband, Mario Fernandez, are both charged with hiring Fernandez's former tenant, Henry Tenen, you see him there on the right, to kill Bridegan. Tenen has already pleaded guilty. Now, the documents are 250 pages and outline everything from comments made during a search of Shanna Gardner's parents' property in Washington state and the defendant's movements before and after the murder. 250 pages of new information from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms in the Jared Bridegan murder case. One key element in the documents depict the moments agents searched Gardner's parents' home in Washington in February 2023. You'll remember that's the same house where Gardner eventually was arrested. According to the documents, though one person's name is redacted, it appears one of Gardner's children asked the special agent during the search, "What are they looking for?" The agent replied, "We're looking for phones." The person's response then was, "Like burner phones?" It then said the person told the special agent that his mom keeps all her important electronics in her bedroom closet, and then whispered, "Up above, pointing towards the ceiling. The documents also discuss Mario Fernandez saying his phone pinged at the rental property where Tenon had rented a room. The documents say it pinged for 15 minutes in the morning and an hour in the evening the day before Bridegan was killed. A tire matching the one Bridegan was trying to remove from the roadway when he was ambushed was also found on the property. There's also Henry Tenon's truck, which was captured on surveillance video just after the shooting. The documents reveal a man named Jimmy Jones Jr. had the truck in his backyard for 3 to 4 months after Tenon had it towed there. The documents say Jones said he tried calling Tenon, but the phone kept going to voicemail. Jones then asked law enforcement if the truck was involved in something. The detectives replied they thought so, but did not believe Jones was involved. Jones then responded saying, "Hell no, I'm cleaner than the State Board of Health." Gardner and Fernandez could face the death penalty if they're convicted.
They hired this motherfucker to kill the ex-husband. He put a tire in the middle of the road. The white dude got out to move the tire. He ambushed him. That was a nice little plan, though. Press 1. That was a nice little plan. It was crude and rudimentary, but hey, it worked.
New details tonight in the Jared Bridegan murder investigation, a crime that shocked the Jacksonville Beach community and gained national attention.
Today, News4Jax obtained 800 pages of documents from the state attorney's office about the case. This comes almost 2 years after Bridegan, a father of 4, was shot and killed in front of his then 2-year-old daughter. He had just left his ex-wife's home and stopped to move a tire out of the road. Bridegan's ex-wife, Shanna Gardner, and her current husband, Mario Fernandez, are both charged with plotting the murder, which was carried out by a man named Henry Tenon, who has confessed. News4Jax reporter Alicia Hatcher has been combing through this newly released court document.
The documents was as high as these stacks of copy paper. It gives great details about the shooting, people interviewed, and what led up to the 3 arrests made in the case.
Documents reveal 4 shots were fired, 2 hitting Jared Bridegan and 2 hitting his car. Bridegan's daughter told police, "Daddy opened my car door and I heard a boom."
Sun Man went 2 for 4. Shout out to that Sun Man assassin, man. He went 2 for 4.
Documents reveal 4 shots were fired, 2 hitting Jared Bridegan and 2 hitting his car. Bridegan's daughter told police, "Daddy opened my car door and I heard a boom." Investigators suspected Mario Fernandez and Shanna Gardner set up the hit from the beginning. Gardner spoke with police the night of the shooting, saying she did not know if the victim had any issues with anyone, which would lead to his death. They also talked to his wife, Kirsten Bridegan, that night. She told police the only person who had ill will towards him is Shanna and Mario. Days after the shooting, Gardner and Fernandez's cell phone records were subpoenaed. On March 1st, they were interviewed separately discussing how their relationship came about and their relationship with Bridegan. For that month, investigators followed leads, ran cell phone tower traces, and sent samples from the tire for DNA analysis. On April 15th, Fernandez was brought in for another interview. This time, he's upset. He tells police he and Gardner had been experiencing backlash from Kirsten putting it out in the media. In June, one of Fernandez and Gardner's friends was interviewed. She tells police Fernandez called her a day after the murder, saying he knew who killed Bridegan. That same month, police visited one of Fernandez's properties and spoke with the current renter. That officer saw a spare tire leaning against the house and asked the renter about it. Police tested the tire and found it was connected to Bridegan's murder.
This nigga just had the tire leaning against the house. He literally just had the same tire he used in the middle of the road. Months later, police come to his house and the tire's just sitting there leaning against the side of the house.
That officer saw a spare tire leaning against the house and asked the renter about it. Police tested the tire and found it was connected to Bridegan's murder.
A few days later, detectives went back to the home and learned the renter and Henry Tenen went to Georgia to get his father's blue pickup truck after he died. Cell phone records revealed Tenen was in Jacksonville Beach the night of the murder. He was arrested in August on a different charge, so police pull him in for questioning for Bridegan's murder. Tenen tells police he doesn't know anything that will put him away while pointing at a photo of Fernandez and then asking for an attorney. These documents also revealed Tenen's bank records, where they found 3 checks from Fernandez and Gardner's business. Alicia Hatcher, Channel 4, the local station.
Paid him. They paid him through the business. They sent him checks through their business. Yo, this is, yo.
It was almost like
we covering everything tonight, man. Shout out to Barry B, man. Barry B is in the building. Man, sponsor your local Sun News, man. Sponsor your local Sun News, man. We in here. It's cracking, man. He said cash was too risky. Yeah, just pay him with the send him like, don't even just like send him a cash app. Like, make sure you send it through the business. Like, we're gonna print out a check with our business on it. Write it over digitally, like write it over to him and shit digitally. We're gonna leave a digital trail from our business to this random guy. And then they're gonna go visit the guy's house a couple months later, and the tire that was in the middle of the road is gonna literally just be laying on the against the side of the house when the cops walk up. Think about the cops. They're like, yo, is that the tire that he I know they couldn't believe it, man. I know they probably like, no way. No way that's the fucking tire. That's another tire. That's not the same tire, but we'll test it anyway. But there's no way that this is the tire. That broke the case because the tire had the man's DNA because he got out and moved the tire. His DNA's on there. Holy shit. Oh.
it was almost like any other evening in Stockholm, Sweden.
I received some information that there could be a possible shooting in Hammarby Sjöstad. So right now we are going there to see what is actually happening there. It's another tragic night in Stockholm, like many before.
Think about it. Sweden never had these problems, man, before they got strong with diversity, man. When they were weak, when Sweden was weak, they didn't have these problems.
He's the kind of character you only meet in the most violent neighborhoods of Brazil or the United States. An office worker by day, Michael is a paparazzi by night. As soon as a crime is reported on police frequencies, he goes to the scene as quickly as possible.
Here you can follow all the flight traffic. Here we can see the police helicopter. We can see that they were flying in circles. Usually when they do it, it's because of a shooting.
Michael has 80,000 followers on his Instagram account, and his posts are getting more and more hits.
It happened around 40 minutes ago. Someone or someones have been firing several shots towards an apartment door.
The shooting caused no casualties, but it has sent shockwaves through one of the city's most exclusive neighborhoods.
They need to work in peace, so if you just can back up.
The neighbors are stunned by the eruption of firearms at the foot of their building.
It's insane what's happening. Only a few years ago, we were one of the safest countries in the world.
Only a few years ago, they were one of the safest countries in the world. Jesus. Let me drop the link, man. Only a few years ago, they were one of the safest countries in the world. I wonder what happened, man. I wonder what happened. Look how quick that shit can go down, man. That shit can turn quick. Yeah. It don't take long, man. It do not take long, man. Holy shit.
This woman was dragged out of bed by the bangs.
There are shootings all the time. They're completely crazy. I'm afraid for my children.
As the nights passed in the wake of the police officers, Michael is increasingly worried.
So since the beginning of this year, I have been covered around maybe 20 to 30 shootings. This is just the ones that I myself have been covering. There's not all the shootings.
Since 2022, the country has recorded over 300 gang-related shootings every year. With 4 deaths per million inhabitants compared with a European average of 1.6, Sweden has become the champion of gun deaths. The Swedes are in for a rude awakening. Sweden, land of Volvo and IKEA. With its endless forests and thousands of lakes, the land of ABBA. One of Europe's last monarchies. The kingdom has long been the cradle of welfare state and prosperity. A champion in welcoming immigrants. In Sweden, 1 in 3 inhabitants was born abroad or is the child of parents born abroad.
Wow.
How dare you?
Wow. 1 in 3? Holy shit. Yeah. Look at her, Greta.
Born abroad or is the child of parents born abroad.
How dare you?
From environmental activist Greta Thunberg to gay pride, the country has a reputation for being progressive, tolerant, and inclusive.
Yo, that's a lot of faggots, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. That's a shit ton of faggots right there. Goodness gracious, man.
Since 2018, it has also become the land of ultra-violence.
You can tell these all Sunmen by the way they're holding guns. These either Sunmen or Arabs.
In the last 3 years, the country has recorded 200 shootings, 345 explosive attacks, and 175 deaths.
Yeah, the Albanians. Now, the Albanians over there, they blow each other up. The Albanians blow each other up. That shit is crazy. The Albanians are no joke. They're a different breed, man. They blow each other up. They don't. I mean, they shoot, but they prefer to blow each other up.
Sweden is facing an unprecedented upsurge in violence between gangs fighting over drug trafficking.
Sweden is a drug country. Everyone does drugs. And there's a lot of money to be made here.
In September 2023, the Conservative Prime Minister called for help.
I've summoned the National Police Chief and the Commander-in-Chief to see how the armed forces can help the police in their work against criminal gangs.
The police are overwhelmed, are discovering younger and younger murderers, sometimes as young as 15, willing to kill for a few thousand euros.
500,000, 1 million for the heads they got. But when you do this, you got too much money, too much respect.
That's Albanian.
I think it's good money.
In the most disadvantaged neighborhoods, the epicenter of violence, a large proportion of residents feel abandoned by the state. We conducted an investigation in the inner city and uptown areas, alongside criminals and police officers alike, in closed educational centers, and in the footsteps of far-right militants who surf on the wave of violence.
10 years ago, the view on us was completely different. I mean, we were viewed as racist, Nazis, and etc. They would think that we were against them, that we hate them, and we wouldn't.
How has the rise in armed violence shattered all certainties in a country long considered a haven of peace?
So they're blaming the guns. They're blaming the guns. So they're fucked right there. They're fucked right there. They're blaming the guns. Look at that beautiful country, man. I wouldn't import anybody who came from a country that couldn't do this. If your country can't do the same shit we do, you can't come, man. I don't know what the Swedes were thinking, man. God damn, man. They really fucked that up, man. They fucked that up, man. Take the $5 challenge. Support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat. Put 100 on it. Put 50 on it. Smash the like button.
Gothenburg, Sweden's second largest city. It's Scandinavia's largest port and one of the country's drug trafficking strongholds. In the early 2000s, it was here that the first violence between drug traffickers broke out. In 2021, a tragedy shook the whole of Sweden.
My colleague is wounded. He's been shot. Can you hear me?
The country was horrified to see the murder of a police officer.
His name was Andreas Danman. The 33-year-old police officer was gunned down in a shootout.
The scene was the housing estate of Biskopsgården. While chatting with residents, the policeman was shot at point-blank range by a hooded man. A few days later, a 17-year-old drug dealer was arrested.
Why they blurred his face, man? He shot a cop, man. Yeah, man. She said Somali, man. He looked like he could be, yeah. He don't look like a West African. He got the big ass ears.
A few kilometers away, just outside Gothenburg, in the middle of the forest, lies the Bergen district. Unemployment is 6 times the Swedish average.
A lot of fucking headscarves, man.
Lies the Bergen district. Unemployment is 6 times the Swedish average. 85% of the inhabitants are of foreign origin. On the surface, it's a quiet neighborhood, but it's under the influence of drug dealers. They are the ones who chose our interlocutors, this group of young people who run a drug dealership.
We were authorized to talk to you by the local bosses. Otherwise, we'd never have met you.
The conditions are clear. No interviews with local residents and a maximum of 30 minutes before leaving the premises. Tarkan, born in Sweden and of Tunisian origin, seems to be the leader of the gang.
Tunisia.
From the outset, it's his young age that surprises us.
How old are you? I'm 17. And those who work with you? They're 14, 15, 16. I started when I was 12, so I'm even younger. Here we sell drugs in front of everyone. Cannabis, hashish, methamphetamine, opiates, ketamine, and cocaine.
Young people have set up shop along the edge of this alley. They don't hide. They're part of the landscape. Even the mothers and their strollers don't seem to mind the presence of these masked teenagers.
Aren't people afraid to see you like this in the middle of the neighborhood? It's normal for people living on the estate. People are used to it and are aware of the level of crime in the area. If they talk to the police, we'll pay them a visit. They'll have to leave the neighborhood and their families will be threatened.
All right, man. That's Sweden, man. Sweden, man. Jesus Christ. That's Sweden, bro. We talking about Sweden in the building. Oh, damn.
Three were charged with sexually assaulting a classmate this past summer at a high school graduation party. 18-year-old Kevin Nemick remains behind bars tonight. The Prospect Heights man, along with 18-year-old Zachary Mascolo of Arlington Heights and John Clary II of Bartlett, have all been charged with felony criminal sexual assault for allegedly attacking a female classmate in a minivan in mid-June during a high school graduation party. The DuPage County State's Attorney says it happened in northwest suburban Roselle on June 15th. That's when police responded to a call about a sexual assault at a St. Vader High School graduation party the night before. According to the school, the accused and the victim are all graduates of the private Catholic school located in Arlington Heights. Following the assault, investigators say the victim went to a friend's house where she called her sister. Her sister then told their parents, who immediately picked up their daughter and took her to a hospital. Investigators say all three men were in a minivan with a female classmate and that they allegedly took turns sexually assaulting her inside the vehicle. A judge issued arrest warrants for them. In a statement, a spokesperson for St. Vader High School expressed sadness about the incident, saying in part, the gathering which gave rise to the alleged criminal conduct took place in Roselle at a private, non-school sanctioned event that was not sponsored, organized, supervised, or authorized by St. Vader High School. The safety, well-being, and dignity of our students are of utmost importance to our entire community. During the first court appearance, a judge ordered that Nemick remain in custody until his trial, while the other two charged were granted pretrial release with conditions and allowed to go home. All three men are due back in court next month. Reporting from northwest suburban Roselle, Evelyn.
I know she was happy to do this story. Press one. She finally got a break, man. Who want to do this story about these three white boys? Me. I'll do it. Salute to that sister, man. She finally got a break, man. Mr. Clockwork in the building, man. Shout out to Mr. Clockwork, man. Mr. Clockwork says, if foreigners control an area enough to set the rules for anyone coming there, that is an invasion. If the territory is controlled by foreigners, no-go zones. Yes, that's called a no-go zone. And yes, they have plenty of them. Like Germany, Sweden. I forgot how many no-go zones there were in Let me see how many no-go zones there are in Sweden. No-go means that the ambulance and the cops can't come in. First responders can't come in there. The people handle everything themselves. They don't let the government, any government agencies come in there. It says, while there's no official count for no-go zones, Sweden police officially state there are no true the police, but they do identify numerous vulnerable areas, 59 in 2023, including 17 especially vulnerable areas and 15 risk areas, facing significant social challenges. I don't believe that, because it's way more than that, man. Yeah, it says Sweden as police give up on 61 out of control no-go zones. Yeah, that's bullshit. We'll cover that though. They got a lot of no-go zones, man. A lot of them. I mean, a lot. This one says 61. I think it's a lot more than that. Just big ass neighborhoods where the police can't come in and the serve first aid, social workers, none of that shit. Can't come in here, man. This is our shit. Let me go ahead and finish with this Twitter, man. All-time white starting five. Holy shit. That's a good starting five. They could beat anybody, man. That starting five could beat anybody. I ain't even gonna hold you, man. They can beat anybody, man. I'm not gonna say that you know there's some good black, there's some great black, there's probably some better black starting fives, but these motherfuckers will probably outthink the niggas and shit. They'll outthink the niggas, beat them on fucking.
Insurance program for you that allows you again to take care of what you need to take care of without being forced to choose between your family, your bonding with your child, your own health, and your economic well-being. Because in Minnesota, you can do both, and we proved that time and time again. Insurance.
He looked like he looked like he's aged 5 years in the last month. He's the stress is getting to him. The walls are closing in. Even though I don't think he will go to jail. They may be able to get him out of office though. But I don't think he will go to jail. Republicans never send anybody to prison. Gay protective brother beats up his sister's abusive boyfriend. Yo, man, you got beat up by your sister's gay boyfriend? I mean, gay brother. You got beat up by your sister's gay brother? Jeez.
Why? You want to fight? Why are you getting so close to me? Huh?
Gabe, stop.
Why are you playing like me? Why do you?
Shit. Yo, the gay dude hit him with that's yo, god damn, bro.
Stop.
Why are you playing like me?
Oh shit. Yo, that was a slick move. I ain't gonna lie. That was a slick move. The gay brother, man. And then you hit your head all hard. Damn.
Why are you playing?
You got spushed in the face.
Why are you playing?
Adrian,
what's up?
Come on, Adrian.
Got blood.
Okay.
Where's the blood?
You got a gay nigga standing over top of you. And you supposed to have a girlfriend. And you gotta listen, I ain't saying that this, you know, you getting your ass whipped on camera by a gay dude, like easy. Like, I'm not saying a gay dude couldn't whip your ass. This is too easy. Press 1. This is too easy, man. You gotta make a gay dude work for it, man. Pause, man. The way this dude beating you up, he could take your booty, man. Listen, it's not inconceivable that he could take your booty if he wanted it. Just take it. Just straight up, just jack you for your booty. The way he doing this shit so easily, man. This shit too easy, man. You can't let no gay dude beat your ass this easy, man. Dude, son, he could take your booty if you wanted it. Salute to man. Salute to my man. Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Deluxe in the building. Deluxe with a deluxe. Shout out to Deluxe. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well, bro. Yo, listen. Yo, man, come on, man. You gotta make this gay dude listen. Come on, bro.
You want to fight?
And this is after you beat up a girl.
Why are you getting so close to me? Huh?
Gabe, stop.
Why are you playing like me? Why are you playing? Huh? Why are you playing?
Adrian.
What's up?
Come on, Adrian.
Got blood.
Okay.
Where's the blood?
Adrian. Adrian.
This is my house. Excuse me.
Hey, Adrian.
You want to be
No,
here?
come on.
This is my house. This is my fucking house. You disrespecting my sister. What the fuck you saying? Fuck you, bitch.
Adrian.
No, this is my.
No, it's.
He threw me, broke me up, he pushed me. He called me fat.
Yo, he still got the limp wrist. Wrist limp. Wrist crazy limp, yo. Look at that. Look at that wrist. That wrist just a limp. You getting your ass beat by a limp-wristed faggot, man. His wrist don't got no hinge. His wrist got a hinge on it. It ain't got no oily hinge. Just on his wrist just no kind of fucking firmness. That shit just limp. He's sitting there whipping your ass, standing over top of you. How do you come back from this? And listen, I've come back from a lot of shit. So, I mean, I'm not saying that it's impossible. You know what I mean? But it's a long road. This dude's got a long road ahead of him to come back from this. He's got a long road. He's got a long road ahead of him, man. Yo. This would be bad if it wasn't no internet. If people just told the story. See, in our day, it was just a story. Like somebody be like, yeah, you know that nigga got his ass whipped by a faggot. Faggot just hit him with one of these karate moves and then whooping his ass. I remember back in the day when it was just a story. You just got the word, man, and it was bad. Niggas had to imagine what happened from what they heard. And they would roast you off of that. Now it's like you get to see that shit. This brother got a long road ahead of him, man.
You put your hands on me, I don't do that. Don't do that, Gabriel. That's fucked up.
Damn, your name is Gabriel. Yo, your name is Gabriel. You got beat up by a gay dude and your name is already Gabriel.
Move! Why, bro?
Babe, stop.
Did you take your shirt off? Did you take your shirt off? Holy shit. Off with the shirt. Uh-oh. He ain't playing now. Off with the shirt. Then you got this dude with pink shorts on. Oh, God, this is just this is a fruity mess, man. This is a fruit salad, man. It's like somebody made a fruit salad and somebody knocked it over and shit spilled all over the floor and shit. This is a big fruity mess, man. This is a big fruity mess. Yo, shit. Shirt covered all. He about ready.
Move! Why, bro?
Babe, stop. No.
Watch work, homie. No, I gotta move. No, I really fight.
Look at his wrist, limp.
Ain't no police on me. He already hit me. He put his hands on me. Yes, he did. Yes. Gabriel,
Yo, look at them wrists.
stay back there. You know, you already know you don't want to come over. Don't come near. Don't come near. Get away. Get away.
You're not going to
You are a bitch.
He said, I ain't no bitch. He said, I ain't no bitch, dog. My nigga, you a bitch. Listen, this was the last thing he could have done, right? When he got up right here, he was supposed to immediately attack the homo. He walked like halfway down the block into the shirt off. Yo, my nigga, you a bitch.
He put his hands on me. Yes, he did. Yes. Gabriel, stay back there. You know, you already know you don't want to come over. Don't come near. Don't come near. Get away. Get away.
You're not going to
You are a bitch. You are a bitch.
I promise you that.
Stop.
My nigga. I promise you.
I'm
I'm gonna swing no matter what.
Adrian, can we go?
You already hit me in my house.
Adrian, can we go?
Yo, watch this flinch, yo.
Adrian, can we go?
You already hit me in my house.
Adrian, can we go?
What's up?
Yo, that's crazy. Gay dude had him like, gay dude just flinched at him, and that motherfucker damn near did a goddamn fucking army fucking crab walk roll.
Adrian, can we go?
What's up?
Stop. Don't.
What's up?
No.
Again. Yo, bro. This is bad, man. This is bad. Yo, he could definitely take your cheeks, bro. And this is what people trying to stop it. Yo, that nigga, you lucky. You better be lucky he don't want your butthole, man. If he wanted your butt would be gone, man. You could kiss your butt goodbye, man. Salute to my man, Raul, man. He said, good morning, man. Good morning to you, man. Merry Christmas. If he wanted your butt would be finito, man. That nigga.
I'm a real nigga. We not gonna play.
You is, bro. You a real nigga out here, man.
Follow Fights Bro.
You real nigga, man. You ain't know you a real nigga, man. Shout out to that homo, man. Shout out to that homo.
This going back to 2013 with CCAP. This is where it started, but you know, there's at least an annual site visit in there. In these 14 high-risk programs right now, Jason, site visits aren't even required in many cases. We actually had a recent jury conviction get overturned by a judge here in Minnesota. And in that case, a DHS investigator stated that, well, we couldn't go investigate it to find out that this business was just simply run out of a P.O. box and was legitimate. We can't afford to do that, but for some reason, we can now afford anywhere from $8 to $19 billion in fraud, but we can't afford to do site visits. And one of the funny videos you'll see out there recently is Nick Shirley coming to Minnesota, a learning center, except the problem in this case, and this is how you know these site visits aren't actually occurring, because on the side of the building, it says Learning Center. They couldn't even spell Learning Center correctly.
That was crazy.
And that just goes to show how deep the fraud is and how people are unwilling to investigate it at all. It's absurd.
That's crazy. That learning center is crazy. Oh, yeah, nigga will sneak you like this. Nigga will sneak you. You gotta watch a nigga like this. Listen. Oh, God. Damn.
To diversity.
I don't want to be like replaced at a job because I'm
You
white.
are not being replaced.
I literally just said I've not gotten jobs.
So
because
have I,
of
but
diversity
I don't
quotas.
feel like I'm being replaced.
That's what that is. You could have got that job if you were black. So how is that not being replaced? That's what affirmative action is. What do you think it is?
No, that was casting. That's what that was. It was casting. But why is it hard for you not to just go, I did not get that one, let me go for this one?
Yeah, I will
As
do that,
just-
but you think like black people would be chill with that if it's like, oh,
I
sorry,
think
you're
they
black,
have
you can't
been
get
chill
that
with
job.
that.
I don't
I
think
think
so.
they-
We had a whole civil rights movement,
I
so I
think-
don't think that was very
Why
chill.
did black You got a people have a problem with the civil rights movement?
Because they were being discriminated against, so they
You
started
think they
a
should
civil
still
rights-
be slaves?
What?
I mean,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they weren't chill with being
You
discriminated
think that we
against. I'm
should
not
still
chill
have
with
them
it
at the
either.
back of the bus?
No.
Like
What?
these things
That's not
happen
what I'm
so that
saying.
we could have equality. Why is equality difficult
How is it
for you?
equality for me to not get a job?
This white woman doesn't know she was she was in just as much danger back in whatever day she thinks she's talking about as she is now. This white woman thinks she could just walk up to a Sun man and tell him to do something back in the old days. She thinks she can get slick with a Sun woman. This white woman thinks she can get slick with a Sun woman in 1942, and then just because she was white. She think a Sun woman wouldn't mop the floor with her because it was 1932. These people are nuts. They don't know history, man. Press 1. That's what we cover here, history.
The most self-hating, Sambo-ish sellout blacks in America are in Los Angeles, California. This is a fact. But when you redirect the conversation to the black gangs, oh man, they take it to a whole nother level. Like they take the coonery to the next level. Don't believe me? Well, look at this.
I'm in cell like 4 at the time. So, you know, I see niggas I'm banging on everything. Only people I'm not banging on is white boys and Mexicans. You feel me? They not my people.
We appreciate it.
You know?
Thank you very much.
It's regular that a nigga I'ma bang on everything black that I see.
Well, that's just one person. Just because one person says that doesn't mean that, well, look at this.
But what about the Serenos? They're pretty tough, aren't they?
Yeah, we fuck with our Mexicans though on hood. Hell yeah. Like, we used to beef with the Mexicans, but they cool with us. Like, you know, they good peoples.
What about the Aryan Brotherhood?
They cool. They do tattoos and shit sometimes, so we be in there with them.
Like, that is really how they are.
But they cool with us. Like, you know, they good peoples.
What about the Aryan Brotherhood?
What about the Aryan Brotherhood? What about the Aryan Brotherhood? And I get called the coon. Think about this. I get called the coon. I get called the fucking goon and the sellout, the Sambo. This is salute to Jimmy Fields, man. He says, Merry Christmas, Auckland Nation. Let's make 2020. Hey, listen. He said, let's make 2024 the best year. Listen, man. You know, New Year's Eve, we're doing we're voting for the panelist of the year, okay? So guys, submit your start submitting your votes. I know Jimmy Fields is going to be on the ballot. We know Jimmy Fields is going to be on the ballot. We know Fisherman's won 2 years in a row. I can't remember. Is it 2-3 years in a row? I can't remember. Fisherman's won so many years in a row. But we trying to dethrone Fisherman this year, man. Nominate your panelist of the year, guys. Start nominating them, man. I'm gonna start taking down your nominations, man. Over the next couple of days, man. And within January 1st, we're gonna have the show where we vote on the panelist of the year. Okay. It's a live vote. And like I said, last year it was Fisherman, and then my bro from Philly, young boy from Philly, and then the year before it was Fisherman, and number 2 was Brown Sugar. So Brown Sugar was the vice president. She the one that made it. So if whoever comes in second is the vice president. But we do it by race, man. We do gliders, then we do sons, then we do people of color, and then we do women. So we do 4 categories: gliders, sons, others, and then women. And then we take the top one out of each group, and then they go for the final ballot. And then that's where we determine who's the president of our nation and the vice president. So yeah, man. Yeah, we know Hot Black is gonna be on the ballot. RIP DVK. Yeah, Wick is always on the ballot, man. He represents others. He's on the others ballot. But yeah, we need the top, we need the top 4 sons, the top 4 gliders. Sometimes it's too many gliders, so we got to do two rounds for gliders and 2 rounds for sons, depending on how much you just. Start thinking of those names, guys. Drop them in the comment section, man. You can drop that in the real comment section of the video, so I can, because I don't want to forget anybody. But yeah, because it's been a long year, man. So yeah, make sure y'all do that, man. We'll have another fantastic show January 1st. Everybody move into, chime in. Salute to all of you out there, man. Raw Rodriguez says, who are the candidates? Anybody you nominate, because we're taking all nominations. Just put it in the regular comment section of the video, any video from now on, and I'll see it, and I'll be able to get together the list, because I gotta get together the list, because we gotta vote on this stuff, and throughout the course of the show, man, and it'll be a poll. It'll be just like on the poll. It'll be just like I'll just put a poll up with everybody's name on it. Whoever gets the most, then they move to the next round. Blah, 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 like that. The Fisherman's won the last 2 years. I mean, resoundingly too.
Oh, they good. They good people.
What about the Aryan Brotherhood?
They cool. They do tattoos and shit sometimes, so we be in there with them.
Like, that is really how they are. I'll never forget when I first got out here within the first few days. Obviously, I'm curious about LA because I don't know about LA. Therefore, I'm gonna want to take a walk. And in the midst of taking this walk, I go to a park where it's hundreds of people. And while I'm at this park walking through it, a black SUV pulls up to the side of me talking about where you from, and it's full of Negroids. Now, of course, I told them I'm from out of state, and they drove off. But afterwards, I thought about it like, damn, I'm the only black person out here. Why me? It's all of these Mexicans, all of these white folks, and you want to bang on me. That's just how they are. It's how they operate.
You happy now? For Mr. Shami? All of you guys. America, it.
Strong words from the wife of this Lovejoy Corner Deli owner as she left his court arraignment today with their daughter throwing up the bird to cameras.
This defendant is accused of flagrantly abusing the public trust.
A grand jury indicted 37-year-old Ahmed Al-Shami for food stamp fraud. Investigators say he would exchange money with individuals to use their EBT cards, then go to big box retailers to purchase items for his store. Transactions totaling almost $4,000.
He was selling Pepsi for 99 cents a 2 liter. You can't buy Pepsi for 99 cents for a 2 liter if you're an independent store owner. You have to charge more.
Buffalo Council member Richard Fontana lives near the deli. He says a lot of illegal activity has been going on at the store, and it has been a major problem for the Lovejoy community.
He was essentially the worst store owner I've seen in my 20 years in City Hall.
Man, that's small time fraud, man. Leave that man alone. If you ain't gonna block them Somalis up, leave that man alone, man.
You know how we say it take a village to raise a child? But what if the village is retarded? What you think it's going to produce? You know how we say it take a village to raise a child? But what if the village is retarded? What you think it's going to produce?
Why would you call my face if you weren't gonna hit me?
Because why the fuck did you call me fat and ugly on
Because bitch, you fucking called my face.
You understand that shit when I was with your friend? I fucking dare you.
Damn. Black women just walking up on white boys. Walking up on white boys like, what's cracking? If she would have did that in 1894 too, press 1. This black woman would have did the same thing in 1888. No different.
Why would you call my face if you weren't gonna hit me?
Because why the fuck did you call me fat and ugly on
Because bitch, you fucking called my face.
You understand that shit when I was with your friend? I fucking dare you, bitch. Do it. Touch me, bro. Touch me. I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, this is not normal, man. This is not normal. You're a woman, man. You're a female. Why are you doing this, man? This is not good, man. You're a female. I didn't say lady. I'm not calling her a lady. She's not a lady, but she's a female, man. This is not good, man. This is not good, man. Look, he can't knock her out. He can't knock her out. He's supposed to be able to knock her out with a couple stiff jabs. Oh, she came back for more. You don't want no more smoke. She ain't want no more. She thought white boy was gonna be a white boy. Is this really Don Lemon? Is this got it?
Somebody's watching me. It's my anxiety.
Yes.
Republican Party has done such a good job propagandizing that if you need anything from the government, you're a lazy piece of shit and you're a moocher, when really the parasites and the parasitic people in the country are the billionaires. Republican Party has done.
Billionaires go to jail all the time, though. Per capita, a lot of billionaires go to jail. Who is this?
I can't. I wanted to take you to the movies, but I'm sorry I can't take you.
Why not?
I'm not allowed to bring snacks in.
Damn. I like her.
Sympathy towards these people is appeasement and a sign of weakness, and it's not going to stop them from continuing, and it's not going to keep them right there. You give an inch, they're going to take a mile. And the rabbi begged for something, and I want to beg the American people for something. I am an Iranian Jew. My family escaped on the back of a pickup truck under gunfire in 1985, 1986, and made it, thank God, to this amazing country. In Iran, it started the same way. It started on the college campuses. It was the Islamists joining hands with the leftists. Same thing as it's happening here. And I want to give you a warning. When an activist on behalf of Iran was in my home, I asked her, when they came for the Jews, why did you say nothing? She said, when they came for the Jews, we said, we are not Jewish, so why should we care? When they came for the Baha'is, they said, we are not Baha'i, so why should we care? When they finally killed Massa, they said, we are all Massa, and they began to care. So to all the Americans out there, the Iranian Jews who escaped our homeland to come here, want to give you a warning. It starts with the Jews and it doesn't end with the Jews. You need to speak up. We need to take our country back and take it back to the Judeo-Christian values it was founded on. Because if we don't stop it in the tracks, look at what's happening to Europe. Look at what's happened many other places all over the world. The time is now to speak up, to protect our country, to protect the justice.
Well, listen, baby, we can't do it. I'm a Sun man. Sun man can't fix this problem, man. Sun man can't handle the Muslims, man. Press 1. Sun man can't handle Islam. It's going to have to be white men, man. It's going to have to be white men, man. They're the only ones that can handle Islam, white men. Historically, man, it's proven. Sons can't handle Islam. Women can't handle Islam. I have never seen Hispanics, but, I don't know. I don't know if Hispanics can handle it, but they haven't historically had to deal with it. Now the Spanish did, so their white side, the Hispanics' white side, kicked the Muslims out. So I'll say maybe Hispanics, because they're a hybrid race of Spanish and Indians. I think maybe they could do it, but I don't know. They just only got half of that Spaniard blood. But yeah, this is white men the only ones that can fix this, man. Blacks, we can't fix nothing, man. We can't run a goddamn corner store, man. We just living, man. We just live, man. We ain't fixing no problems, man. This is all white men. This is on you, white man.
And the rights that you love and you appreciate in this country. The time is now. Sympathy toward.
Hey. They try to do anything to get ratings. They try to do anything to get ratings.
On Christmas? On Christmas? Oh, yeah, so you ain't wait. Look, it's not like you didn't think that was going to happen. Look at the cushion behind the wall.
I told you they do that shit for ratings, man. They do anything for ratings, man. NFL runs Christmas, man. Damn. White liberal women are hilarious because they'll scream about toxic masculinity and oppression and then immediately put on a hijab if a brown person tells them to.
Assalamu alaikum. My name's Peggy Flanagan. I am the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, and I'm really honored and humbled to be.
Look at her face. Look at her face. She like got her. She like got her. She not even looking proud or humbled. She looking like, yeah, it's on. That's the face of somebody that's in game mode. This woman right here is in game mode. She like, all right, we got her. We just gotta keep fucking turning her. She should be smiling ear to ear, like with humility that this woman, decided to put on a hijab and accept her fucking. She like, nah. She like, oh, this is only the beginning. She looked like this is only the beginning. She's imagining America becoming one big Somalia. She's imagining America becoming one big Somalia. Look at him. Look at these motherfuckers, man. How'd you know I was Somalian? Looking at you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name's Peggy Flanagan. I am the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, and I'm really honored and humbled to be here with all of you today. I am incredibly clear that the Somali community is part of the fabric of the state of Minnesota. I think about my friendship with Nimco. We've been friends for almost 25 years. And when I think of being part of Minnesota and growing up here, the Somali community has always been a part of my Minnesota. So I want to just encourage the community to know that we're with you. We've got your back. I am here shopping today, and just encourage other folks to show up, support our Somali businesses, support our immigrant neighbors. And I know that things are scary right now. And just know that there are more people who are looking out for you. There are more people who are here to support you than you know. I will continue to stand with the Somali community to be with you and to do all I can to return the friendship and community that the Somali community has shown me. Thank you so much.
Damn. Oh, she stabbed. Oh, shit. That's not a real courtroom. Holy shit. This is a teacher.
Bitch, you talking shit for what? I was like, look out,
Damn, she smacked the teacher.
Bitch, you talking shit for what? I was like, look out.
Holy shit. Yo, I just don't understand. You had blacks. Why would you import the rest of the third world? You already had blacks. See, it's a lot of countries in Europe where they didn't have blacks, right? America has no excuse for importing all these third world people. You had blacks, man. Shout out to T.R. McCoy, man. Shout out to you, bro. Salute to you, man. We had blacks, man.
Do it. You see this, right? So when I knock you the fuck out, don't say nothing. I got it. This ain't gonna come. When I knock you the fuck out, don't say nothing.
Yeah, so the part.
You the fuck.
Let's read the comments. The comments on this one gonna be funny. Somebody should have told.
Right, so when I'm not.
Somebody should have told Grandpa this ain't 1865.
let you do it however you want to do it. You can take your shirt off. I ain't gonna do you like that, bro.
Bro, look, before we fight, I just want to let you know, bro. I'm not ENT. I don't got nothing to do with that
Bro,
shit.
you got ENT. You got Ed and Mario.
I don't got.
I'm gonna let you do it however you want to do it. You can take your shirt off. I ain't gonna do you like that, bro.
Bro, look, before we fight, I just want to let you know, bro. I'm not ENT. I don't got nothing to do with that shit.
Bro, you got ENT. You got Ed and Mario.
I don't got.
You have to go. No, you understand, right? Thank you. Thank you, man. You want to take this stuff off? You have to go. No, you understand, right? Thank you. I'd have been like, all right. I'd have been like, all right, Mike. Deuces, hey, pack that shit up, man. Hey, man, hurry up, man. Pack that shit up, man. Meet me in the car. I would have been in the car. I'd have told my sound crew and I'd have been like, meet me in the car, man. Hurry up, pack that shit up. Meet me in the car. Fuck that. All right. He'd be like, you had to go. All right, cool, man. I wouldn't even try to reason with him. I'm like, all right, cool, man. Hey, man, pack that shit up. Meet me in the car. Let's go. Skid. I'd be like, yo, I'd have rolled back to the hotel and sent somebody back to pick them up, man, because it's gonna take y'all a while to pack all that equipment up. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave and go to the hotel, man, and y'all go ahead. I'm gonna send the car back. Send the van back for y'all. Fuck that. Fuck all that. You have to go. No, you understand, right? Thank you. Thank you, man. You want to take this stuff off? He looking around like, yo, what the fuck? He looking around like, yo. Mike funny, man. Mike is hysterical, man. Oh, they talking about removing Ilhan Omar from Congress. I don't know. They got the kahunas for all that, man.
I have just 20 seconds. I want your thoughts. Ilhan Omar, should she be expelled from Congress? The president said possibly even the country. Looks like there's no record of her being a naturalized U.S. citizen through her father. She might have lied about married the brother. What do you think?
If she's not naturalized citizen in our country, she's ineligible to be in Congress. So yes, she should be removed.
What do y'all think? Y'all think the Republicans got the kahunas for all that? Wow. White boy, y'all on the map again. We putting y'all, we ain't letting you white folk off the hook, man. You thought we was gonna let you white folks off the hook tonight, man? White folk be back there laughing and shit and having a good time, hee hawing and shit. Like we ain't gonna get y'all too, man. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, gliders tonight, man. You ain't getting off the hook. You ain't getting off that easy, gliders.
New tonight, a convicted sex offender with more than 30 prior arrests is back behind bars in Harris County. This time, Ted Fleming, shown here with years worth of mugshots, is accused of kidnapping a student near Aldine High School. Even more disturbing, the student claims they were injected with an unknown substance during the incident. Stephen Goen joins us live from the Aldine area with more of the details. Stephen.
The suspect in this case had that long criminal history, like you said, but the most recent crime he's accused of is the most serious. It all happened right here at the shopping center across from the school, less than 1,000 feet away.
Ted Fleming.
1 week after his arrest and this first appearance in court, 45-year-old Ted Fleming arraigned today on that felony kidnapping charge. The allegations connected to an incident near Aldine High School last Wednesday. Court records show officers were called when school staff saw the student and suspect walking together. One staff member had even taken photos and videos of the student being, quote, pulled away. According to Aldine ISD, school staff saw that student stumbling, being approached by the suspect. The alleged kidnapping happening here at a shopping center less than 1,000 feet away from the school across the street. When officers arrived, they detained Fleming. The student, who was found unconscious, reportedly revived with Narcan and CPR, telling officers he'd been injected with the substance.
And this is the first time I've seen or heard of a case where somebody was actually injected.
Today, Andy Kahn with Crime Stoppers of Houston told us it was one of the most disturbing cases he'd come across.
And now you've got a teenager that's, God only knows what would have happened to him if he would have actually followed through and have been able to actually kidnap him as well.
Court records show Fleming also had an extensive criminal history in Harris County with more than 30 arrests and nearly a dozen convictions for indecent exposure, terroristic threat, and deadly conduct.
And yet he has never spent one day in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
In a statement, Aldine ISD tells KHOU 11 that school district police are increasing patrols around the Aldine High School area. But tonight, questions remain about what more has to be done within the justice system to prevent incidents like this.
You obviously have to blame, the defendant for his actions. But at the same time, you got to look at our criminal justice system for repeatedly putting him back out.
And the suspect is still being held on a $150,000 bond. We are working to find out more about the student who was involved in all of this. For now, in Harris County, Stephen Goen, KHOU 11 News.
Such disturbing allegations. Stephen Goen with the details of the case this evening for us. Thank you.
That shit was disturbing, gliders, man. Gliders are disturbing, man. Jeez. Little Richard, man, he said, they studied everything I did. I raised them. I knew them when nobody knew them except their mothers. Little Richard on the Beatles. Yeah, man. I believe that, man. Little Richard was a bad motherfucker, man. Holy shit. She spit on that guy. Oh shit. Um let me go back to let me go back to YouTube, man. Tube, man. Go back to the tube, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. Hit the like button, subscribe, man. Take this $5 to $10 to $20 channel, $50 channel, put 100 on it, man. Support your local Sun Man news anchor, man. Told y'all we was covering everything tonight, man. We covered just about a lot of shit, man.
San Francisco is seeing a dramatic drop in crime citywide, particularly retail theft. The mayor and SFPD say stepped up enforcement is paying off as they crack down on offenders. KTV's Betty Yu joins us live in Union Square tonight, which has been packed with shoppers. Betty?
Greg, Union Square was bustling tonight. In fact, even at this hour, you can see there's still plenty of people taking in all of the sights. Now, many shoppers I spoke with tonight said that part of the draw was the increased sense of safety here. In recent years, viral videos of smash and grabs, mob-style thefts, and widespread shoplifting in San Francisco dominated headlines. But new city data shows a shift.
We are making strides on this front. We have done a blitz, and since September, SFPD has arrested 104 individuals for this crime.
Officers, including plainclothes members of the Organized Retail Crime Task Force, worked closely with store employees and loss prevention teams to identify suspects, largely in the Soma area. At Shoe Palace in Union Square, which opened earlier this year, a security guard says they have not experienced a single mob-style takeover.
No people coming, like 5 or 10 people coming in at one time, no.
Did that surprise you?
It surprised me at first. Yeah, because when I took this job, I thought it was going to be a lot of that. And my coworkers was telling me, hey, D, it's going to be rough there. But it turned out to be pretty good. I think San Francisco is coming around.
SFPD says a combination of high visibility patrols, targeted enforcement, and tougher accountability has helped deter theft.
One, I think the laws have changed. I think now they know they can actually get in trouble for theft. I mean, you come here and steal, you got like 45 seconds to get out of here or you will get caught.
Mayor Daniel Lurie says overall crime is down 30% citywide. Car break-ins are down 44%. And the city is on track to end the year with its lowest homicide rate since the 1950s. Shoppers say they're feeling the difference.
My mom grew up coming here, and so she was even asking me, are you going to go over to Union Square today? Tell me how it is. And I'm like, it's gotten so much better.
I definitely feel like it is very safe now. I never really felt unsafe, but I do feel safer.
And SFPD says that technology also plays a role in all of this. They currently have 400 license plate readers. They also have dozens of drones and a new high-tech investigation center that helps them identify and arrest suspects more quickly. Greg?
People seeing the changes and feeling the changes there in Union Square. Betty, you in San Francisco. Betty, thank you.
So they started punishing criminals, man, and things changed, man. Wow, man. You notice they try not to talk about that part. They try to act like it just happened. They so woke they can't even tell you why it's different. That's crazy. That shit is sad, man. They can't even say, yeah, this is what we did, man. I gotta come back for y'all tomorrow night, man. I gotta come back for y'all tomorrow night, man. We gonna come back tomorrow night, man. All right, I gotta tell y'all what happened. Yeah, my daughter flooded the basement, man. My daughter turned on the hose outside. Didn't know she turned on the hose at like 12 o'clock, right? I came down here that night, right? I was gonna go live, right? I walked down in the basement and it's a foot of water in the basement. A foot. I thought a pipe bust. I thought the furnace, something. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then I remembered, oh shit, she did this because she had done it before, but it didn't get that bad. It was only a couple hours. This time she left it on for 10 hours, didn't tell me. The hose outside by the steps. She put the nozzle right by, we got steps that lead into the basement. So she put it right there by the steps. Cause she knows she wasn't supposed to do it. So when I called her name, she dropped it. I guess that's where she dropped it, right by the steps. And that shit was just flowing down the steps for 10 hours into the basement. A foot of fucking water. I got a bucket. I started scooping it up into these bins, carrying the bins up the stairs and dumping the water out back. Water is heavy, yo. Water is heavy as shit. Water is heavy as shit. Okay? My back started hurting after like 10 of them joints. I mean, I was carrying tubs. These tubs right here. I'll show you the tubs let me show you. Let me show you the tubs that I was picking up. Oh shit, I gotta, man. These tubs right here. I filled them up with water and took them outside, dumped them. Next thing you know, back started hurting. I took some duct tape, wrapped it around my back, kept going. And my wife called some people because we thought nobody would be able to come out on New Year's Eve, right? These people came out. And he had a little pump like this big. I'm gonna buy one. It runs off a battery, and you stick a little hose out one end and a big hose out the other end. He stuck the hose out into the backyard, and that thing just sucked all the water, the rest of the water out into the backyard. And then I just swept the rest of the water into the sump pump. But now I gotta disinfect it so that it doesn't get moldy. That's what I gotta do tonight. I gotta disinfect the floor so it doesn't get moldy. Because this isn't like carpet like you would see in the house or something. This is like that flat carpet that's kind of like a floor. It's like glued to the floor. It's not raised carpet. It's like kind of like, I can't explain it. It's like, it's not like a rug or anything down here. It was like that's flat carpet. That it's like almost like jean type material. Like it's like denim. Almost look like denim on the floor. But yeah, that's what happened on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, man. I came down here at 10 o'clock to go live, and there was a foot of water in the basement. Yeah, it was a glider, man. He looked like Santa. He was an old white man. He was shaved, but you could tell his beard was white. I say, damn. Christmas miracle, man. I was like, damn, we are fucked. I'll be here all night scooping water. And then once I get it real low, what am I going to do? I have to like sweep it into the fucking bins and shit. My wife is calling people. It's hard to get people out 12 o'clock on a fucking midnight on New Year's Eve. On Christmas Eve. Now it's not linoleum. Linoleum is linoleum is I wish it was linoleum. Linoleum is not carpet. Linoleum is like flooring. You said water bill gonna be crazy. Water bill gonna be crazy. She left that motherfucker on for 10 hours. And she wasn't gonna tell nobody. Then when I confronted her about it, she was like, I didn't want to tell nobody because I was gonna get in trouble. I said, God damn. Yeah, you in trouble then. That girl ain't getting no trouble, man. That girl ain't getting no fucking trouble. That girl was asleep while we was down here. While me and that man was down here getting this shit together, that girl was asleep. She was upstairs watching Curious George till she fell asleep. That's what it is with kids, man. When you got kids, man, kids, boy, they mischievous, man. My daughter mischievous. The Auto Will says, hope you enjoyed your Christmas. Please react to Americano Preso Acusado de. Well, let me write this down. Americano y preso. Acusado. All right, we'll let's see. What's he telling me? Oh, you talking about the man? The man, the American man. Oh yeah, we can do this right quick, man. We'll do this right quick before we get out of here, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. Man, salute to everybody. We'll do this right quick.
Police in Sao Paulo arrested an American man who was sexually exploiting children in Rio de Janeiro. His detention was at a downtown hotel. He described himself on social media profiles as a sex tourist. The text then includes a series of excerpts from a video.
As soon as they entered the room, the American, identified as Floyd Wallace Jr., 29, was arrested in the Liberdade neighborhood in downtown Sao Paulo to drink, eat, and game. He threw himself to the ground and was handcuffed. The operation was carried out by teams from the Homicide and Personal Protection Department in support of civil police officers from the state of Rio de Janeiro, DICE. According to information from the Child and Adolescent Police Station, the American is accused of raping and sexually exploiting several children.
They put him in a back hatch. They put him in a back hatch. That's crazy.
In conducting their inspection of the hotel room where he was lodged, the police found a significant quantity of electronic equipment, including files containing child pornography. They also seized a variety of items such as pen drives, memory cards, a notebook, a computer, multiple cell phones, some stuffed animals, a watch with an embedded camera.
Yeah, stuffed animals, man. It's diabolical, man. Passport bro, man. Passport bros, man.
And various other telephone devices. At the start of December, law enforcement
Damn.
commenced an intelligence operation following a report from a
I did it. Lock me up.
Following a report from a ride-sharing driver. The driver stated that a user who had used a false name requested a ride with two minors whiners. During the ride, the man spoke with the children who said they were going to meet an older man who didn't speak Portuguese. The girls couldn't explain how they knew him. That's when the civil police were contacted. On December 18th, the police identified a user who had requested another ride with four underage girls. During monitoring, agents identified that the man had traveled to Sao Paulo the previous Saturday and was planning to flee the country. This is where the teams established a perimeter to prevent his escape. A temporary arrest warrant was served for the crimes of rape of a vulnerable person and facilitating the sexual exploitation of children. His passport was also seized. The investigation also revealed that the criminal had self-identified as a sex tourist on social media profiles. According to the civil police, Floyd is a U.S. citizen and has a channel on a video platform where he posts videos of himself resisting police approaches and being arrested in various states of his native country, Orpova. The foreigner has a criminal record in more than 3 U.S. states for crimes such as resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and assaulting a police officer. The combined sentences could reach 34 years in prison. Investigations continue to identify and locate other possible individuals involved in the scheme, as well as to determine if there are new victims.
Letitia Mean is in front of the federal police, which is investigating, right? And his arrest, where his arrest was made. Now searching for other members here in Brazil, because this gang is international, right, Leticia?
Yes, William. And the police also want to know how many victims were targeted by this man, this 29-year-old criminal. The information we have is that he is here at the federal police headquarters in Sao Paulo, an investigation together with the civil police of Rio de Janeiro, because that's where these victims were targeted, right? The first identified.
Nigga, you in a whole lot of trouble, bro. That nigga smiling, man. Do he know how much trouble he in? Yo, jail sucks in America. It really sucks in Brazil. You're going to prison in Brazil, my nigga. Yo. Like for like the rest of your life is shit. Prison in Brazil. That's like worse than prison in Mexico. You'd rather go to prison in Mexico than prison in Brazil. Yo, he in deep doo-doo. This dude in a lot of trouble, man. Listen. He in so much trouble that even though he did what he did, you still kind of feel sorry for him because that's how much trouble he's in. He's in that much trouble that like you could genuinely feel sorry for him even though he's a pedophile. He is in a world of trouble. Jeez. That is absolutely insane.
Victims, which we covered in this report, were alerted to the authorities by a rideshare driver about these teenage girls who were going to meet this man. They said they didn't have much information about him, that he was a foreigner who didn't speak Portuguese, and this raised an alert among the police at the apartment. Our first live report was in front of the apartment, a kind of hotel, a lodging.
Wow, so now they just repeating shit. He's in a world. You got to go to prison in Brazil, dog, for the rest of your life. Yeah. And we don't know how they treat pedophiles in Brazil. Brazil, him being American might be a good thing. He might, I don't know the politics in Brazil. I wouldn't, venture to like presume anything about the politics in Brazil. The prison politics. God damn, bro. I know the conditions. We know the conditions. We don't know the politics, but we know the conditions, man. Conditions, man. Jeez. He's smiling and shit. Maybe he's gonna try to play crazy. Maybe that's what he's gonna do. I'm crazy. That's why I sleep with little kids, because I'm crazy. Damn. I need it. Jeez. Salute to everybody out there, man. The whole Ock Nation, man. I'm out here, man. I'm getting up out of here right now, man. We're gonna come back tomorrow night, man. Do what we do. You know how we do. We're gonna come back tomorrow night, do what we do. Get in the comment section, man. Same black time, same black channel, man. Out of here. Press 1.